the things I studied at college was what called exoplanets, which are planets outside of our solar system. Now we have very good evidence.
They found recently?
That's some of them, yeah.
I don't believe that shit.
You don't believe that?
No.
Well, could I explain to you what the evidence for it is? And then you can tell me where we've gone wrong.
I personally, I used to believe in all that stuff. I personally I was subscribed to Universe and what's it called, where you go and look for sunspots on the sun and looking for craters on the moon.
Because I have a solar telescope and I will show you a sunspot.
No, I was helping for the research where you look at the images which you get directly from NASA and you point out.
Hunters.
Planet hunters. Not just planet hunters. You found a new planet. They emailed me and all that shit. Zooniverse. That's what I said. I subscribed to that. I was doing. So I was doing the moon, identifying the craters and you know the new craters, impact craters and stuff like that. And also I was looking at sunspots as well as the Mars one. They had a Mars one as well. I mean, it's not like I was like, I didn't believe in it. There was a time where I did.
Okay, so why do you think
Physics and reason and just natural science.
So go on, what about physics tells you that exoplanets don't exist?
Or any planets?
Any planet.
One, I don't understand how you're getting images from beyond the Van Halen belt. Because it's a radiation field. How do you send the images through?
Well, why would that stop them?
Because it's radioactive and it would have a sensitivity. It would disrupt information for one. A field. It's a radiation field.
Does that disrupt light?
Of course it does. Right. It disrupts everything, radiation.
So we can't see the moon?
What you're saying, we can't see the moon?
No, we can see the moon.
Because the moon is beyond the Van Halen belt, right?
Do
you believe in the moon?
I'm talking about the images from
Right, but you can take a picture of the moon, right?
Of course.
Yeah, but
the moon is beyond the Van Halen.
No, Phil, it's only 33,000 miles away.
No. Your machine, which is flown up
the sun is even closer.
Beyond our stratosphere.
Same distance.
Yeah, taking the images.
I've taken pictures of the moon with my telescope.
So am I, taking pictures with my phone.
Right, so what's the problem?
You know, I can see.
Why is here a problem? The moon is beyond the Van Halen belt.
Yeah, how can you take pictures?
I've never seen the moon.
Right, but you said you can't take a picture of something beyond the Van Halen belt.
I never said the moon.
Right, but the moon is beyond the Van Halen belt.
It's closer.
Do you believe that?
Yes.
Hold on, let's stop.
Based on what?
He sees it's much nearer than you think it is.
Let's slow down.
But then why believe the Van Halen belts are there at all?
I don't know, ask him.
One at a time. Yeah. Basically, we're on the ground. We're on Earth, aren't we?
We are, yes.
Okay.
We can agree on that.
And the Hubble is not on Earth, is it?
Well, it's in space.
Yeah, it's just like when the guys who went to space and went on the moon with their Hasselblad, took pictures.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, and they brought them back to Earth.
Yes.
And they came through the Van Halen belt again, isn't it?
Yeah, so what?
Those images wouldn't survive.
Why would they not survive?
They would get disrupted by the radiation.
Why?
Because the light photons passing through.
So if a light photon hits something, it won't be able to
disrupt
take
a
an
negative.
Okay. How
Something
is that
which is
camera
like.
working?
If it's a negative, well, I don't see radiation around here. So
There's no radiation here. Are you seriously saying there's no radiation?
There's only low
bathed in radiation.
Emitted from the batteries and stuff like that. No, we're not talking low levels. We're talking high levels.
Okay, so what you're saying is it's not the presence of radiation, it's the amount and the intensity.
Of course, it's going to be that.
So
that's what it's made up of, isn't
So
it?
if you don't spend very long in the Van Halen belt, you're not getting exposed to very much radiation. If you don't spend very long in the Van Halen belt, you're not exposed to it very much.
It's something of some light sensitive.
It needs to spend a certain amount of time.
Wait till he's finished.
I mean, if you spend a trillionth of a second in a high radiation environment, are you going to die?
I would use science.
You spend 1 trillionth of a second in a high radiation.
No, you've developed cancer and then
In
you
1
eventually
trillionth of
die.
a second,
And then you probably die.
Even the minutest.
In a high level.
I would not.
Let's
Like if you went to Fukushima, if you went to Fukushima for 1 millionth of a second, you wouldn't develop cancer.
Have you ever been X-rayed?
I would not.
I'm asking you.
You would not.
You don't believe so?
Ian,
Have you ever been X-rayed?
I'm just asking you.
No, the answer is no.
I don't believe it.
Have you ever been X-rayed?
Have I ever been X-rayed?
Because he was
Those
seeing
are
5,
gamma
I was
rays.
seeing 7.
Which are the most volatile photons that there are?
What level of
X-rays. You know why they're called X-rays?
Is it radiation?
Not gamma rays.
Is it radiation?
They're X-rays. X-rays are gamma rays.
It is radiation, sorry, my bad. But the thing
It doesn't
is,
kill you because
it's the
you're not exposed
levels.
to it for very
The
long.
levels.
Exactly.
The level.
Actually, the level he gave you was even less than that.
The Van Allen belt has...
Give you one for what? 100 or a
NASA say
million?
you can't get through the Van Allen belt.
Thank you.
They never said that.
They did.
Pretty sure they did.
They did. They did.
I don't want to bet, I'm just pretty sure.
No, they
They did.
Bro, hey mate, I'm staying here.
Listen, they've got too much cameras on. I'm not like having a field day, and I feel ambushed, and I'm unprepared.
No, but you know your stuff. You know why you believe what you believe. That's important.
Yeah, I mean,
So Phil, I asked him what would falsify his belief.
he's going to take me, he's going to allow me to look through his telescope to see these rings on a mechanical telescope.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that at Greenwich as well.
I think, what's the name?
But you understand how telescopes work, right? The electronics is just moving the telescope. It's not affecting the image. The image is just lenses and mirrors. So the electronics are not relevant. Do you understand that?
I think I do.
Okay. So the electronics are not electronics, it's irrelevant.
We'll see when we get there. I'll dig deeper into what was it, at UCL?
Go to UCLA, you go on the website, they have open days for the public.
I will check out what is the construct of your so-called telescope at
So
UCL.
cool telescope.
You know,
Well, they have a refractor and reflectors. Okay, and spectroscopy.
refractors and reflectors.
Yeah.
And where they find the first telescope?
Interested.
Where do they find?
You can reflect things.
It didn't fall off the sky.
That's a good idea.
Do you
Reflect
know
deeply.
anything about the
Oh,
dog
where you
one?
going, Ali?
No.
Can I come back?
You know about the dog one? They were able to say the constellations up there without a telescope. Do you know that?
I've heard that claim. I don't believe it.
You didn't believe it.
Earlier we were
It's
talking
a
about
fact that you want to deny it. But it's a fact. It's factual.
Okay. Well, I deny it.
You deny it. Exactly.
Yeah, I haven't seen.
Exactly, because it does not
I
comprise.
haven't seen any real-time, real images of the Saturn and all that. All I've seen is graphics.
Yeah, but I did ask you. You never gave me the answer. What would falsify your
Well,
belief?
actually, since this telescope's so great and it can see all the way up to Saturn, we can see some brilliant detail. Should we see some brilliant detail on the moon?
depending on the on how powerful your telescope
The
is.
moon lander and stuff like that.
No, it's not powerful enough for that.
Well, you can see Saturn.
Moon what?
If you can see the rings of Saturn,
Can't see it. Ask him.
all right.
No, he did say that.
Phil, we can see the rings of Saturn, yeah?
Yes. You could do it with your
Okay,
own
so-
telescope.
okay,
You don't need to
Wait,
go
he's
to
going to ask you a
giant
special
telescope.
question.
You can do it with
Okay, calm down,
your own
everybody. Calm down, calm down. Yeah. So, with that telescope out there, can we see anything which has been left on the moon?
No.
Why?
Because they didn't leave
It's an
anything.
angular. No, they did leave something.
Yeah.
They did.
No, not the expert. Actually, leave this one out. You're not the expert.
When the spacecraft took off from the moon, they had different modules. They were modular.
Oh, yeah.
So one module was left
Yes.
on the moon, and the rovers were left on the moon.
And the flag.
And the flag is. These things are too small for
infamous
our
flag.
telescopes.
Phil, one of the experiments is bouncing a laser off,
Yes.
so that's seeing.
Okay, so I mean, if you can't see the things, what is
They
that?
actually bounced a laser off.
They're
the
too
Earth.
small.
You can see things as
They're
far
too
as
small and
your-
they're too far away. But you
Yeah.
have something called angular resolution of a telescope. And the size of the telescope determines the angular resolution. You'd have to build a telescope way bigger than we've ever built to see that smaller size of a thing.
How come the Dogons were able to see without the telescope?
Maybe they didn't.
They didn't.
Is that what they told you?
No,
That's what it
it's
is.
in the history.
That's what it is. It's
That's
a
another
fact.
topic.
It doesn't matter.
That's
But
the
the-
factual one.
Okay,
but
fine.
the-
You guys didn't even
But the
believe.
thing is, with the,
However,
how comes we can see quite clear details of craters and stuff like
yes,
that?
craters are big things.
I know. but
Spacecraft
big- supposedly big things.
Some cameras can see the
Well, we can see that from
You can see
here.
the craters with your naked
But
eye.
Phil,
Exactly.
they mapped the planet, didn't they? And we've got photos of the landers with the pictures going
Do
away.
it from an orbiter, from the lunar
Correct.
reconnaissance orbiter.
That's what I asked
Recent
Ian
in
earlier.
the 2000s.
Lunar
I've
reconnaissance
seen them on
orbiter did take
Zooniverse.
pictures.
Exactly.
I've seen the graphics on Zooniverse.
That should falsify your claim that we
Yeah.
never landed on the
So
moon.
Ian,
That's
are you going to
perfect.
accept the invitation Phil offered you
course.
to go and see with your own eyes through the telescope? And if you see the planets, what would you say then?
It's round like the sun.
No, not about that they exist. Because earlier you said they don't exist.
I would agree that they exist
If he sees it.
if I see them.
If
But that doesn't
Maybe you
prove.
should take it
That
to the
doesn't
uni one.
disprove. It wouldn't disprove that this is a sphere what we live on.
But I said,
sphere?
you're paying for that one.
Do you think the moon is a sphere?
What could
I
Phil
don't disagree with that. I can't disagree because I've never been to the moon.
How are we able
Well,
to
you can see it, right?
How are we
Yeah,
able
it's
to
round.
predict eclipses
Not spheroid.
with
500
accuracy
years
to
ago
like
might have been the norm.
I
if
think
I'm
that-
model of the
I-
universe is
It's always like
there was a device
It's a unique.
which only recently
Mind-boggling.
they were trying
I'm just saying,
to
it's not
predict
often you find somebody
eclipses
who's
with this device. I
so
can't remember what it's
committed
called. It's an ancient.
Not in this part of the
It's
world,
an
in
ancient
this age.
device. I don't know what it's
If you
called.
travel a bit,
They
you
found it
probably
as an
find all sorts of
antique or
weird
whatever.
ideas.
I think it's the
I thought
cogs.
the flat
Yeah,
earthers were
the
a joke,
ancient
but they
time
apparently are real.
cogs. What they
I've been
found
here for 2.5
in
years.
some
I
wreckage,
talked to somebody I talked
which
to in a
would
couple
show
of weeks
that
ago.
there was some
And when I found
mechanical.
out-
It was
It's
down in
amazing.
the sea,
For
deep in
2.5
the sea,
years, I'd never
and
met
they
a
found
flat
it was.
earther. Now most
I
people
know you don't know. It doesn't matter. But basically, it was a machine which
I didn't know either. I've known him for a few years.
the eclipse
And then I
with,
was
but they
thinking,
couldn't
when I was
get it
thinking about
working.
that,
The reason why they couldn't get
Is
it
it-
working
is it
because
very
they were
normal
using
decent
a globular format.
knowledgeable?
As soon as they
If
use
he's doing it as a bit of a sort of stunt or
a globe,
Possibly, no?
yeah,
You could have a point there.
globular, yeah.
just see
When
how
they
far he
use the flat
intellectual exercise.
format, a circular format, they can predict it perfectly accurately. Yeah, and this was something.
This is some machine that was buried at the bottom of the ocean.
Ian, what
Which
could,
they found is very similar to this, is the astrolabe. Yeah, you can predict movements. Well, this one could predict as you know, like you said, eclipses were very difficult to predict. Yeah, and this is something which they discovered
I have
with,
sent this.
with this
Sorry,
tool.
give me 1 second.
what could Phil do for you to believe the Earth is round? What evidence could he bring you? What would he need to do to say, hey?
Before that, we are going to
He has to-
investigate the planets because he's saying.
Yeah, but he
No,
said
I
no,
don't
even if he
mind about
accepts
the
the planets,
planets.
they
I'm
wouldn't
not about
falsify
that.
the flat Earther.
They wouldn't falsify that.
No, but if all the heavenly bodies are spherical, why would the Earth be any different?
I don't know.
No, that's
what?
That's conjecture.
That's not conjecture. It's a
not
reasonable question. Come
It's
on.
not a reasonable question.
It is.
It's just throwing of why the birds and the elephants. You know, it's the animals.
Maybe the Earth
whatever.
is
You know,
special.
it's not really a
Actually,
point.
what is conjecture is a flat Earth.
You know, this-
When you see all the other heavenly bodies are not, and the Earth, that is
No,
conjecture.
what is conjecture is that everything spins, and you can feel the spins, but you can't feel the spin on this planet.
By the way, you said the moon is round. When you say round, do you mean like a two-dimensional round?
I don't know. I've never been there.
You don't have to be there.
Why not?
You can see it.
No, you can see one side of it. Always.
Yeah, one
No,
side.
no, not about the side, about the shape.
You look flat
about
from
the
this perspective.
about the shape.
You just shaded.
Unless
No.
you see everyone in 2D.
Well, I can't see behind you right now, can I?
Do you know the difference between 2D and 3D? Because everyone here is 3D. To me, I don't know about you.
I'm very clear. We see in a two-dimensional way. It's interpreted as
No,
3D.
Look, when you see the moon, you do not see a two-dimensional, just
Don't you?
a disc in the sky.
Do you not?
see a curvature, don't you?
No, you don't. You
don't?
see a circular thing in the sky.
Which is a reflection of the sun.
Maybe you should take up a telescope one day.
You should take up
A non-
art.
a non-electronic-
You take up foundation art and understand shading and light and dark.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we're talking about the moon here, not
You look at the
foundation
TV, everything looks 3D, or is it flat?
art. You got a 3D TV?
Right, you got a normal TV.
I got a normal
It's
TV.
2D.
And that's what I'm telling you. When you see, it's the perspective you see. People here are in 3D. They are not in 2D.
No,
A 2D is like a cartoon.
Tangibly, we are in 3D. The light and the shade makes it look and appears from the perspective we're looking at look like 3D.
So we are all in 2D. Is that what you said?
We are all looking in 2D.
What does 2D and 3D mean to you?
What does it mean to me?
Yeah, what is the difference between 2D and 3D? to you?
What, in the real world or
yeah.
the visual world?
That's the
Is
real
there a
one.
difference between the real world and the visual world?
Yeah, because one is a visual perspective and one is a real world perspective.
How do we tell the difference?
Well, one in the real world perspective.
Alright, what could Phil do? What evidence could Phil bring you to change your mind? He's obviously quite a firm believer in the flat Earth, and I asked him, what evidence could you give
If
him?
you see moons going around Jupiter with your own eyes, and if I can predict you when those moons will appear around Jupiter,
That won't convince me. That's nothing to do with the Earth right now.
well, but it shows you that.
Show me an image of the Earth. No,
No,
If
it's
I
all...
show you the image, will you not say it's faked?
Yes.
Is it real though? That's the question.
Right, but if I show you, but that's the whole point.
Is it
You've said show
real?
me an image, but if I show you the image, you're going to tell me it's
Show
faked.
me a
aren't you?
real image of
Okay,
the
fine.
Earth. A real.
So how do you
By the way,
account for
have
the
you
phases
got
of the
a
moon?
technique to verify real images
It's
from
very
fake
strange
ones?
thing.
Well, it is in your theory. It's perfectly explicable in the normal
No, it
theory.
doesn't make sense in the real normal.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
We have spherical objects. You have the moon partially lit as it changes its orientation with respect to the sun. Now, how do
Zero.
No, it makes every sense to most
I know
people.
what you're saying.
So in your theory, how do you account for the change of a new moon as a crescent to half a moon and then a full moon? It's a flat disk. What is it that's changing the lighting to make it a crescent, half, and then full? With a spherical object, it's very
How
straightforward.
does it become a half if it's reflecting a curvature of a curved object, a sphere, for instance? How do you get a straight line from a curve?
Just do an experiment with a tennis ball and a torch. When you hold it at that angle and you're here, you will see, in a dark room, you'll see half a tennis ball.